Hello, everybody. In this session, we are talking about what is a research gap. A research gap is a question or a problem that has not been answered by any of the existing studies or research within your field. Sometimes a research gap exists when there is a concept or new idea that hasn't been studied at all. Sometimes you'll find a research gap if all the existing research is outdated and in need of new or updated research. And then we move to the types of research gaps. Types 1, the classic literature gap. First up is the classic literature gap. This type of research gap emerges when there's a new concept or phenomenon that hasn't been studied much or at all. For example, when a social media platform is launched, there's an opportunity to explore its impacts on users, how it could be leveraged for marketing, its impact on society, and so on. The same applies for new technologies, new modes of communications, transportation, etc. The second types, the disagreement gap. As the name suggests, the disagreement gap emerges when there are contrasting or contradictory findings in the existing research regarding a specific research question. The hypothetical example we looked at earlier regarding the causes of a disease reflects a disagreement gap. Importantly, for this type of research gap, there needs to be a relatively balanced set of opposing findings. And then the third, the contextual gap. A contextual gap exists when there is already a decent body of existing research on a particular topic, but an absence of research in specific contexts. Importantly, if you're gonna go this route, you need to ensure that there's a plausible reason why you'd expect potential differences in the specific context you choose. If there's no reason to expect different results between existing and justified, so make sure that you can clearly articulate why your chosen context is different from existing studies and why that might reasonably result in different findings. And then the fourth, the methodological gap. As the name suggests, this type of research gap emerges as a result of the research methodology or design of existing studies. With this approach, you'd argue that the methodology of existing studies is lacking in some way, or that they're missing a certain perspective. And then, how to identify research gap? Considering the volume of existing research, identifying research gaps can seem overwhelming or even impossible. There are different techniques in various disciplines, but we can reduce most of them down to a few steps, which are: the first, identify your key motivating issue or question. Second, identify key terms associated with this issue. The third, review the literature, searching for these key terms and identifying relevant publications. The fourth, review the literature cited by the key publications which you located in the above step. And fifth, identify issues not addressed by the literature relating to your critical motivating issue. And then we move to the good research gap. A good research gap is a specific area of knowledge or a problem that has not been adequately addressed or explored in the existing literature. There are 10 points that are typically considered mandatory in a good research gap. The first, about relevance. The quantitative research gap example should be relevant to the field of study and have practical significance. Second, importance. The research gap should be important enough to justify the time and resources required to conduct the research. Third, novelty. It should identify a new unexplored area of research or a new angle for examining an existing research topic. Fourth, researchable. The gap should be researchable, meaning that data can be collected and analyzed to answer the research question. Fifth, significance. The gap should be significant enough to warrant further investigation and have the potential to contribute to the existing body of knowledge. Six, originality. The gap should be original and not simply a replication of previous research. 7. Feasibility. The research question should be feasible and realistic, taking into account factors such as time, resources, available, etc. A. Timelines. The research question should be relevant to current issues or concerns in the field. 9. Clarity. The gap should be clearly defined, not too broad or too narrow. And 10. Specificity. The gap should be specific enough to allow for targeted research. I think it is enough for this session. Thanks for watching. And don't forget, give this channel with your like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you.